So today I'm gonna have to get real close and personal. As the title says, these are things that I wish I knew before going to college or before graduating college. Leave it up to me to film a video when the sun's setting. But today, you know what this is. We got our tea. One of my favorite teas is chai tea. That's what we're sipping on while we talk about college again. So my name is Seriah Alexus if you're new to my channel. If you're not, welcome back. Thank you so much. And I am a recent graduate from college. I just finished. I graduated in 2020. And yes, we had no graduation, but that's fine. My degree is here. Alright, so I have wrote everything on my phone, but it just magically disappeared. So we're gonna use my laptop. Being a recent college grad during a pandemic has really opened my eyes to a lot of things that I wish I knew while I was in school or before graduating. So let's get into it. The first thing that I would say that I wish I knew or kind of applied to my life is the importance of taking a gap year. Going into college, I wasn't really sure if that's what I wanted to do because I wanted to be done as soon as possible, over it, get my degree, and be done. So that's what I did. But now that I have graduated school and I did not plan to go back, it's kind of like I'm taking a gap year, but like not really. This is like the rest of my life. I'm done. I may go back, I don't know. But for now, that's not the plan. So right now I'm just taking time to figure out what it is that makes me happy, what it is that I truly would enjoy doing, because I truly want to be happy in what I do and enjoy my life. So yeah, that's another reason why I would consider or would like people to consider taking a gap year, just because I feel like when we go to college, people and even ourselves, we expect ourselves to know what we want to do at 18, 17, 19, whatever year you go to school, and that's unrealistic. It's not something that we can just figure out just by going to college and picking a major. I feel like you truly know or figure out what you want to do through life's experiences. So while you're in school, it's rush, pick a major, find out what you want to do for the rest of your life, and graduate, and then realize that the major that you picked, you don't love it at all, and now you're stuck with a major that you don't like, a degree in that major, and now debt too. No, we don't want that. So that's just something that I feel like I probably would have thought about more. Whew. Okay, this next one is important, and this is for those who are either going into college for the first time, especially those who are going in right now. I'm so sorry that you can't even tour your school. That's upsetting, and I'm so sorry for y'all. This next thing that I wish I knew is being strategic on the school that you pick, whether you're going into school or you're transferring into a different school. So a few things that I put to consider before going to a school is, one, the dorming situation. I guess this would kind of be my number one thing. If I was to go back, you want to be comfortable where you're living. This is going to be your new home. You want to be comfortable there. If the dorms are dirty, if you know that these dorms, they have not been taken care of, they're dirty, you're not going to feel comfortable. You know, the bathroom situation, we're not even going to get into that. If that's not a big deal to you, then fine. You have to establish what it is that is your deal breakers and what's important to you. Dorming was important for me. I wish I considered that more into the school I went to. Also, find out if your school offers apartment style dorms. My school didn't. You either had to move off campus or you dealt with living in like the dorms. Now, moving off campus, you can do that. There's nothing wrong with moving off campus. I personally couldn't do that with the funding that I was getting for school, but I would have loved to live in like an apartment style dorm with friends or whoever, you know, and just enjoy kind of having our own space, because dorming, it's cool like your first 2 years, but after a while it's just like it gets old. So definitely look into that, and also look into if your school offers singles. Some schools don't, and if having your own room is important to you, you don't want to find out later that your school doesn't have that while you're already there. My school also did not offer, they did have singles, but the price for what you were getting was not worth it. It wasn't worth it. Definitely look into that, and like I said, make sure they're clean. Don't be fooled if you go on a tour. They will show you their best room. Sometimes they show you their worst room. I've been on a tour where they've done that. But for the most part, they'll show you the best room. Talk to people who go there. Look at stuff online and really decide from there. Alright, so another thing to be strategic on when choosing your school are clubs. Is having lots of clubs important to you on campus? Does the school have Greek life? Do they have a football team? Do they have certain extracurricular things that you know you want to get into, or you want to go watch a football game or have homecoming, stuff like that? So definitely see if your school has those things. Next thing is the campus size. So what's important to you? A small school, a medium school, a large school? That's pretty much it. Really consider what size campus you want to go to, what you're comfortable with. Okay, next things next. The people that go to your school. Do you think that you can mesh well with these people? Because these are the people you're gonna be looking to make friends with or be looking to hang out with. Do you think the whole like school community or culture and as a whole is something that you feel like you can fit in and grow from? Do you want to go to a religious school where most of the people think like you and are religious, or do you not care about that? So those are things to also think of, because a lot of people transfer out of school because of the people that go to the school that they're at. Next thing to consider is the area. Does your school have a nice, cute college town? My old school definitely had a cute town that we can go out to eat, parties, there's clubs. It was like a nice little main street. So that's something that I really loved about my old school. Some colleges don't have no town at all, like anywhere near their school, and a lot of people transfer out because of that too, because there's nowhere to go outside of your school, and if you're far from home, you're stuck on campus. So we don't want that. Think about if you want to be close to home or not. That was another thing for me. I personally wanted to be close to home just because I knew like if I got tired of being at school, I can just come back home. And also make sure where you're at, the school is safe, because you don't want to be going to no school where you have to fear for your life. That's too much stress. You're already stressing over these tests and these exams. Two more things. I hope that you're writing these things down. Also think about what majors and classes does this school offer. If you don't know what you want to do yet, you can't really decide on a college based off of their majors, but if you do have an idea of what you want to study and what you enjoy studying, make sure that your school actually offers those classes. I know my school allows you to make your own major, which is amazing, but you're still stuck with the classes that the school offers. I don't think you can make up your own class and try to take it. You may be able to, but that's so much work. Just go to a school that already has those classes. Last thing to consider, this is the 7th thing, and I know it's a lot, but trust your intuition. I know everyone says that sometimes we don't listen to it because we want to do what we want to do, but try to really just sit down and think on the decision on where you want to go and if it's the right choice for you. How does it make you feel? How did you feel looking at the campus? Or if you were able to tour it, how did you feel leaving? Did you feel like, wow, I can see myself here? Or hell no, I want to get my as far away from the school as I can? And if you were like me and you were already in a school where you felt like you wanted to transfer from but felt stuck, when you went back home for break, did you feel like you wanted to go back? Like, did you feel, why did I sound like that? I sound like a teacher. Did you feel happy to go back to your school, or did you dread going back to your school? Like, you did not want to go back. Like, in the beginning of my college career, I was excited to go back, and then towards the end, I was like, sis, we need to reevaluate some things. Like, I did not want to go. I didn't want to go. And I know a lot of people around me were so excited to go back, and I'm just like, damn, how come I don't feel this way? Because I didn't listen to my intuition in the beginning. That's why. So the next thing that I wish I knew, going based off of what I just said, it is okay to transfer to a different school. It is so common, and I low-key am jealous of the people who actually did transfer, because that was something that was on my mind after sophomore year, because I told you I started to dread going back to school and I felt like I wasn't really happy where I was at. But if you have the chance to transfer and you've been thinking about it and you want to, don't be afraid to transfer and try to make it work with your credits. If you really want to do it, then you can do it. I feel like it's better to be somewhere that you're happy in than try to stick it out and be upset and sad all the time. But what I will say about this, really think about like why you want to transfer. Is it the school itself? Is it because you think your school is not a good school, or you just don't feel happy at that school? Is it the people there, or is it just college as a whole? And if it's college as a whole, then you may not be happy anywhere you transfer to, because it's just college like that you're unhappy with. So really think about what it is that's making you unhappy and make your decision based off of that. I don't know why I feel like I can't breathe when I'm doing these videos. I'm gonna have to pull out my ring light too. The sun is going down. Cut. So the 4th thing that I wish I knew before school, to not take all your GEs at once. Now this can be very specific to different people depending on where your money is coming from. This tip mainly refers to people who are getting state funding like FAFSA and TAP and things like that. And this was advice given to me as a freshman from a senior at the time. So I took that advice and it helped. It worked out for me. So I'm giving this to you guys. But basically, they explained it. I'm sure they probably explained it way better to me than I'm going to explain to you. Basically, what they told me and what I've done is to space out your GEs throughout your 4 years of school, because in order to get funding from FAFSA and TAP, you need to be a full-time student, which means you need 12 credits. So how do you get those 12 credits? With your GEs, and of course your major classes and stuff like that. That really helped me for my senior year, because throughout freshman and junior year I was taking, of course, way more than 12 credits. I was taking like 15, 16 credits, so I didn't really have to worry about that. But as I got to my senior year, I definitely needed more credits because I took summer classes, winter classes, and I was ahead, and I needed credits for me to be a full-time student. Those GEs helped me a lot. Next thing that I really wish I knew this, and I really wish that I did this while I was in school, is to do an internship. My major required us to do an internship in order for us to graduate, so I had to do one regardless. I chose to do it senior year because I thought like, oh, senior year I don't have to be in school, but no. No. I highly recommend taking an internship, whether your major requires you to take one or not. You'll really get a chance to see what it's like working for the thing that you're going to school for. And I recommend doing it early. If you can, there's internships. You can take internships freshman year, sophomore year, junior year, it doesn't matter. Take one at least, and if you can, try to do one early so that you can figure out if it's something that you want to do. Definitely apply early. Take it from me. Moving on to number 7. The next thing is relationships with friends. I'm not gonna sit here and talk about hookup culture, this and that. I know that's a popular topic in these videos, but I was in a relationship like most of my freshman year to senior year, so I can't tell you about that. But the relationships I'm talking about is friendships. Just know that what they make it seem, just like how they make like high school seem like it was going to be like High School Musical, college is not going to be this amazing. It can be. Let me not say that. It can be if you make it, but don't be upset with yourself also if it's not. Your relationships in life are going to change, so your relationships in college is the same thing. You may not talk to the same people that you talk to freshman year to your senior year. I know for me, it was an obsessive amount of people that was like in that little group. But let me tell you, senior year, we were down to 3. We were down to 3, if that. So don't be upset with yourself. Things change, like nothing is gonna stay the same forever. Okay, so next thing, this is a good one. Make sure you write this down. I learned this after graduating, or like towards my senior year. I feel like I learned everything, most of the things I needed to learn my senior year. So it is to make connections with people. I know, like, duh. Here's the tip that I would suggest that you write down, or that you apply it to your life. I really sound like a professor right now. But it is to make a networking or connections list, whether it's on your phone, whether it's in a notebook, and then you just write the names of people that you would want to work with, professors, other students like you, any type of staff. They don't have to be professors, but write these people down, write their names, write down what they do, and write down their contact information, whether it's their email, phone number, whatever you have, and just make a list of all these people. I actually got this from a podcast that I was listening to. But the important thing is, when you do this, don't just reach out to people to ask them for something. Reach out to them and ask how they're doing also. If you know it's a holiday, if you know their birthday, reach out. Hey, happy birthday. Hey, Merry Christmas. I hope you're doing well. And leave it at that. It's a connection, and you have to work at it. That's something that I struggle with. I actually did this though. Let's say if you actually do need them in the future, they're going to be more willing to help someone who actually checked up on them than someone who just is just reaching out to them to get something. All right, we are at number 9, so we are almost done. It is okay to go into school undecided, to go into college undecided. We're kind of going to get into like the majors, knowing what you want to do, that section of the video. So definitely write this stuff down too. But definitely understand that it's okay to go into school undecided. I was undecided until my sophomore year, because I think that's when we had to pick. It's just a stressful process to go through. Going in undecided doesn't mean that you don't know what you're gonna do with your future. Like, you may not know. Nobody really knows, and that's why I say experience is everything. We tend to go down this negative spiral because we see people who go into college like, yeah, I'm gonna be a doctor, and they very well will probably be a doctor, and that's what they want to do. But some of them, they switch their major real quick because they realize that that is not easy. Actually, be happy that you have the luxury of going into college, just trying to figure things out and trying to act like you have it all together, or act like you know everything you want to do with your life. As a teenager, as a young adult, it's ridiculous, because we, one, are constantly changing, and nobody really has it all figured out. While you're undecided, find the things that you love to do. You're gonna get there, so trust the process, trust yourself, and you're gonna figure it out. Next thing that I wish I knew is that college is not, I'm sorry, but it's not gonna make you this genius in your major or whatever you're choosing to study. I kind of went through this whole negative feelings towards college, like, oh, it's a scam and it's not really worth it. And I'm not gonna say that because college is needed for certain professions. Yeah, I will say, going to college, I've learned a lot of things that I wouldn't have learned before going to college or not going to college. So I'm happy that I did. In terms of the things that I want to do, they were basically all self-taught. And learning from a book is one thing, but learning from experience, learning from actually doing things is another. Don't expect for you to come out of college, you study psychology, and you're going to be the best psychologist ever. You're going to need to go actually do the thing that you want to do and experience it, because the best teacher, like they say, is experience. The best teacher is life, not a textbook. I feel like college has taught me more life skills, learning how to juggle multiple things at once, learning how to hand things in on time, even though we're still learning that. Learning how to deal with time management, again, we're still learning that. We're on number 11. It is okay to change your major. It is okay to change your major. I changed mine like 2 to 3 times. Honestly, I lost track how many times I changed it. First, I wanted to do business. Then I wanted to do fashion. I talked to a lot of, what are those people? The student advisors. I was in their office all the time because I needed to know, like, what are we doing? In the middle of changing your major, I would just consider these things. 1, take easy classes. Like, if you're going into school undecided, or if you don't really know what you want to do, take those easy classes in the things that you are interested in. So if you kind of like thinking about going into psychology, take intro to psych, the intro classes. Another tip, which is very, very helpful if you can do this, try to take classes that apply to multiple majors. I had to take public speaking. That applied to a communication major. That applied to my digital media major. So it applied to more than one thing. Let's say you end up deciding on a major that you want to do. You already have those classes. You're gonna thank yourself later, I promise. Okay, number 12. This is kind of goes for us college graduates. In those graduating college, it is okay to not choose a job specifically pertaining to your major. I know, oh, I went to school for that. Oh, it's gonna be a whole waste because I'm not doing what I went to school for. But I think that's bullshit. Honestly, I don't. I hate this idea because it makes you feel like all the work you put in, everything you've done was a waste of time. Instead of trying to pick a job that is specifically relevant to your major, that's gonna stress you out, especially if you realize that's something that you don't really like. After you graduate, it happens. Why do you think so many people graduate with a major in science and end up being a chef? So instead of getting so hung up on that, what I think is best to think about is to apply what you learned in your major in the job or the career path. Let's say you want to be a business owner or whatever. Apply that to what you want to pursue. There are certain people who go to school for finance and accounting and realize that they hate accounting and they do nothing, quote unquote, do nothing with that major. But all the skills that they learn, they can apply it to their personal life, and now they're amazing with their finances. They know how to handle their finances and they can be their own accountant. Now we are finally at the last tip, and it is you do not have to go to grad school after graduating college. If it is not a part of your goal, it is not a part of your vision, you don't see yourself doing it, do not let people pressure you or make you feel like what you accomplished is not relevant because you didn't go to grad school. They ask you, well, what now? And you don't know what now. So you're just gonna go to grad school because it'll buy you more time to figure out what you want to do, and people will be like, wow, look at her, she's going to get her master's, but yet you have no what you're doing with your life and you're getting yourself into more debt. So do not let people's opinions, do not let people pressure you into doing something you don't want to do. But like, that's the worst thing you can ask somebody who's just graduating is, are you going to grad school now? It's like, did we not just celebrate me actually graduating college? Because that was a struggle and I'm happy we got here. So like, let's celebrate this first before you try to push me off to more school. Like, and I feel like people, they always want you to do the next big thing, and like when you accomplish one thing, oh, it's never enough, you have to keep leveling up. I feel like you can go to grad school and get your master's, and then they're gonna be like, oh, but you're not gonna go get your doctorate? It's gonna be this whole cycle. You're gonna be unhappy. Just don't do it. Don't let anyone pressure you. into doing that, or pressuring you into studying something that you don't want to study, because at the end of the day, it's your life, not theirs, and you have to live with the choices and the decisions that you make, not them. So don't let anyone else make those choices and decisions for you. Do school if you want to do school. Don't do school if you don't want to do school. Do what makes you happy. Do what you love. Don't let people pressure you into doing more school, or even going to school, or even picking a major, because like I said, you have to live with your decisions. They don't have to live with your decisions. And that's pretty much it. Let me know down below what was your favorite thing that I said, and also if you have any tips of your own, definitely leave it down below, because we can all help each other out. This is a dialogue, like teachers like to say. So I'm turning into a professor. Thank you guys so much for watching. Definitely subscribe if you enjoy my videos, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.